Mobility and flexibility is something people are always talking about, and if you look at it from a gymnastics perspective, there are a couple basic shapes that you need to have. One is a bridge, and a bridge is basically, these are my shoulders, these are my hands, my head is here, these are my hips, and I'm looking for this globally extended position. So a bridge is number one. Another one is, if you look at this from a bird's eye view from the top, let's say these are my hips. My legs should be able to go out into a full split. That's a full straddle. Another one is, let's say we're looking at this person. This person is looking in this direction. We would want to see a split. Right leg split, I would take this leg, that leg goes in front, left leg in the back. That's a right leg split. This is a middle split. You should be able to do a left leg split as well. So this is bird's eye view, that's the left leg, and that's the right leg. So these are some basic shapes. Another one that you need to have is a pike position. A pike position is this. Let's say I have a seated person. Those are the toes, very toes, long toe, claw almost looking. And then we will want to see this shape where we have the head position, hip position, legs, a pike shape. How much can I fold? Jackknife. And those are a couple of the basic ones. And then there's another one that you can get, and this would be hanging from a ring or from a bar, and it would be shoulders and full extension. And this shoulder and full extension would be a German hang or a skin the cat. So German hang or skin the cat. So these right here, the extension and flexion, are super important because they address the shoulders. Shoulders are in full flexion, global extension. Here I have shoulders in full extension, slight global flexion. Those we need to have because those are the end ranges of my shoulder up and down, very basic. Why would I want to have a good position here? To make my dip better, to make my receiving position better for muscle ups. So working on flexibility is very important. If you look at mobility WOD, he will always talk about, start with the joint. The joint is this guy, the mover, and there are many things you can do. There's compression and distraction. And then he talks about use sliding surfaces. You need to take care of those. That's when you get a lacrosse ball in there or any kind of tool that's going to massage you. And then the last one that you talk about is muscular length. That's making the muscle long. So you address the joint first, then the sliding surfaces, and then the muscular length. And that's how you should be addressing this. Those are the basic shapes that we see in gymnastics. These require all the above, joint, sliding surfaces, and muscular length. But just by getting into them, it can be a tool for you to figure out where you're missing range. And that way you can go to mobility WOD and figure out what those mobility pieces are and bring it back in. For the stretching, if we're talking about a middle split, which is legs just out to the side, that's the same thing as saying knees out. I could cut these legs off right here where the knees are, and that would be almost like my powerlifting stance for squatting or deadlifting. The right leg split or left leg split, I could take the knee, and I can make this a lunge. Why is a lunge important? Well, it could be part of your running mechanics, but it's also part of your receiving position in a split jerk for Olympic weightlifting. So these are very important to be able to maximize optimal shapes and positions to be able to have more power and outcome down the line. How often do I work on these things? Well, as much as I can until I can accomplish the best shape. What you need to understand is what I talked about earlier, is what are your limitations? Do you have a mobility issue at joint level? Is it something that's stiff because you're really sore or you've been sitting on a plane or sitting at your desk? Is everything glued and tacked down? Do you need to massage that out? Or do you just not have the muscular length? Probably it's not one of them. It's all the above. So pick your battles, figure out what that is, use the bridge, use the skin the cat, the middle split, the right leg and left split, and the pike to be able to address this. The pike is anything that involves hip flexion, aka everything.